on, crypto people? It is the Crypto Sage with another day in the life and the crazy life that is the digital asset space. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. What an exciting time to be an early adopter in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. An early adopter. That is a really, really cool feeling, guys. Really, really cool feeling. I just asked the people at Best Buy. Interesting stuff, guys. So listen, the market is doing what the market does. We go over that. We're going to go over some information from some stuff going on Twitter as well. Yeah, I'm looking into some local spots to get physical gold, silver. Physical gold and silver. Looking to some spots here in our hometown. Got to get back into acquiring, I think, the coins again. I'm not a big fan of paper stuff, but definitely gathering some coins today. I found like 3 local coin shops. I'm going to go check them out, spend a K or so, and get some both gold and silver. So exciting times again, guys, to be in this space early. I'm happy for you. I can't wait to see you create that generational wealth. We're on that journey together, and that is really, really cool deal. So in any case, guys, this is your XRP Ripple daily news in around 0 to 10 minutes. Let's do this. The total cryptocurrency market cap is at 2.02 trillion. Bitcoin dominance is at 39%. That's not great. Bitcoin currently is $41,382. Ethereum is trading at $3,080. XRP is trading at 75 cents. And Terra Luna is up 12%, trading at $94.92. Shout out to the Terra Luna ecosystem. It is a really, really great ecosystem for sure. I'm trying to see if there are any other double-figure greens bonded Luna. That's cool. Bitcoin Cash is at 11.3% on the 7-day at $338.71. Monero's up 10% on the 7-day, trading at $257. What else we got? EOS up 24.8% on the 7-day. That's cool. Trading at $2.80. Man, we need EOS to see if it can perhaps do its all-time highs again. We'll see. The Rune token from the Thorchain ecosystem, another great ecosystem that allows equal access for everybody, is trading at 16.6%. It's up 16.6% on the 7-day and trading at $9.12. Pancake, another level playing field ecosystem. The Cake token is trading at $9, is up 12% on the 7-day. Aave, really a great platform for the everyday person. Anyone can participate on 11 player field on Aave. It's up 15% on the 7-day at $188. That is really, 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 really cool to see. I covered this earlier, but I do want to kind of cover it again. Bitcoin and other crypto tribalism is holding the crypto industry back, says the Ripple CEO, Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. Mr. Brad Garlinghouse. This is an interesting thing coming from Gold Telegraph. This is interesting. Breaking news. Israel adds the Chinese Yuan to $206 billion reserves in a quote-unquote philosophy change. Moving to reduce allocation for dollars and euros. That is really, really interesting. Things continue to evolve. This comes from Gold Telegraph. Starting this year, the currency mix will expand from the trio of the US dollar, the euro, and the British pound to include the Canadian and Australian dollars, as well as the yen and the yuan, which is also known as the renminbi. All right, so interesting stuff today. Very, very interesting stuff here on this article. Israel's central bank has made the biggest changes to its allocation of reserves in over a decade, adding the Chinese yuan alongside 3 others. So, it's not just the yuan, it's others as well. So let me see if I can get this come over here, right? Israel adds Yuan to $206 billion reserve in philosophy change. Canadian dollars, Australian, the Japanese yen, and the Yuan were also added to the basket. And I don't know why this is doing this, but it is. So it's Bloomberg, no wonder. I thought this came from Gold Telegraph. So that's interesting. Israel's central bank has made the biggest change to its allocation of reserves in over a decade, adding the Chinese yuan alongside 3 other currencies. It's a big deal to a stockpile that last year exceeded 200 billion for the first time ever. Starting this year, the currency mix will expand from the trio of the dollar, euro, and the British pound to include Canadian and Australian dollars, as well as yen and yuan, which is also known as the renminbi. I read that. The additions mark a change in the Bank of Israel's whole investment guidelines and philosophy, the deputy governor, Andrew Abir, said in an interview. Chinese yuan and the Japanese yen. So they're smart moves, I guess, for them, right? They kind of hedging their bets, so good for them. Jimmy James K. Filan kind of shared what he believed to be kind of the whole timeline thing, the timeline stuff. A summary judgment timeline. I'm seeing a lot of discussion on timing projections for the filing of summary judgment motions and a decision on the motions. I thought I would weigh in because Judge Torres has a particular and very complicated process that must be completed before the motions for summary judgment can even be filed. The point of this thread is to help you understand that this is a longer process than you may realize. First, any party that wants to move for summary judgment has to provide the other parties an electronic copy in Microsoft Word format of its statement of material facts pursuant to Local Rule 56.1. A Local Rule 56.1 statement is a short and concise statement in numbered paragraphs of the material facts as to which the moving party contends there is no genuine issue to be tried. A material fact is one that must be resolved to make a decision on the motions. The party moving for summary judgment must at the same time provide the other parties any admissible evidence cited in its Rule 56.1 statement, excuse me, that has not previously been produced during discovery. They only have to produce evidence that is admissible. So that would not include documents the court previously said the parties did not have to give to the other side. For example, Brad and Chris's personal financial information or the Estabrook notes. Then the party opposing the motion for summary judgment has to reproduce each entry in the moving party's Rule 56.1 statement and then write its response directly beneath it. After that, the party moving for summary judgment has to email and file on the docket for us to see a pre-motion letter to Judge Torres explaining to her the basis for its anticipated motion for summary judgment and attaching the opposing party's response to the Rule 56.1 statement, which will show whether and which material facts the parties agree on. Then the party opposing summary judgment has to email to Judge Torres and file on the docket a letter explaining why it is opposing the motion. After that, Judge Torres will review everything and inform the parties whether a motion for summary judgment is warranted, and if so, set a briefing schedule for the filing of the motions. Only then can the motions be filed. Now, the parties are submitting a proposed schedule this Friday, and it's technically possible that the parties will agree to waive the requirements of pre-motion letters and the exchange of Rule 56.1 statement of facts. I have to think that Ripple, Brad, and Chris would want to waive these requirements and will be pushing very hard for a faster schedule. But with the SEC delaying this case at every turn, you really must wonder if the SEC would ever agree to the waiver and make this battle less cumbersome, or faster for everyone, even for Judge Torres. Even if the parties agree to waive the requirements, Judge Torres has to agree to that waiver. On top of all of this, remember that expert discovery has been reopened until May 13th for the Mets deposition and the filing of the Ripple Defenders Supplemental Rebuttal Report. Also, I expect that the parties will challenge some of the other parties' experts, although I expect that to be a part of the summary judgment process. The amicus briefs also has to be reviewed. The point is that all of this adds to the time it will take for Judge Torres to make a decision because those challenges have to be decided. All of this is very complicated and will be slower than we want. I don't want you to be disappointed when the briefing schedule comes out. I don't think we will see a schedule that contemplates briefing beginning in June. I think that a more realistic timeline for summary judgment motions would be opening briefs in either July or August, and then all briefing completed by either October or November. Wow. The issue of the Hinman documents and emails is still being decided, but I think the decision on what that would be made while the summary judgment motions are pending, which is why I believe the Ripple defendants have said they are prepared to go forward on summary judgment because that issue is decided. And for reference, Judge Torres recently issued a summary judgment ruling in a complicated case involving gender discrimination claims against Goldman Sachs. The briefing in that case was completed last November, and the decision was issued in mid-March of this year. The point is, this is a complicated case, and it will continue to take time, more time than we want. The end. Thanks, Jimmy James. We appreciate it, bro. We appreciate that big time. Yeah, and it certainly makes sense. So, this is kind of a summary judgment type deal, summary judgment timeline. I personally think this thing will be settled, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Jimmy James. Anders L asked a very, very interesting question. I was very, very curious to see the responses to that. He says, what country will be the first adopting XRP as legal tender? Someone else says, XP Nation, the VA says, I don't think it was intended to be used as legal tender. I do believe many countries can use the XRP ledger for the infrastructure for its methods of currencies. And this L says it wasn't intended as legal tender by Ripple, the company. That's the beauty of decentralized systems. You can use it as you wish without having to ask for permission. El Salvador adopted Bitcoin, and my guess is that countries are looking for cryptos that can scale and are fast, cheap for currency. Interesting stuff there. So what are your thoughts on something like that? What country will be the first adopting XRP as legal tender? I would love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. And I think NSL makes it a point here. It wasn't intended to be legal tender by Ripple, but Ripple, without question, the company believes that XRP is a currency, a virtual currency. Nothing can stop a country from using it as a currency. That's why it's decentralized. If a party could stop it, it would be centralized. Very interesting to see. It's a great question, Anderzel. It is a great question, my friend. It really, really is. So check this out here from Javi at UNBRK3N on Twitter shared this. And I think this is very interesting. The Ledger Nano S at Best Buy. The Ledger Nano S at Best Buy is interesting to me. But right, we've had Ledger Nanos since 2016 or 17, right, in that time frame, and they're just being put in Best Buy in 2022. Do you see how early we are in this space? Do you see how blessed we are to be early adopters in this space, right? Why war with one another over technologies? Makes zero sense. We're early to a new asset class, and Best Buy is just catching up. Interesting to see this. It's the S search. I wonder why the S is so inexpensive. It's interesting. I know I get it. The Legend Nano X as an X-ray is out, and I actually got an S with some kind of addition. Not this. We have two of the regular Ledger Nano S's, and then there was some other kind of addition one we got as well. But this, it says, this really points to how early we are in the space. Here's Johnny Deaton calling out, in my opinion, the people from Coin Center. I think 5 days ago was Jerry Brito's response regarding Brad Garlinghouse. At Coin Center, it reads, Coin Center's focus on the policy issues facing cryptocurrencies. We educate policymakers and advocate for sensible regulatory approaches to this technology. Interesting. Sorry, Jerry, I'm closing the Axios live stream before you speak. Because I can't sit through Garlinghouse. Don't blame you. That's not going to go over well. But, and then what's the name responded to that tweet, right? And this is what he's talking about. The tribalism. That's why they couldn't stomach the tribalism. Who exactly does Coin Center advocate for? Asked John Deaton. I don't care if you despise Chris or Brad. Hundreds of thousands of individual XRP holders are being hurt by the SEC's gross overreach in the SEC versus Ripple case, and the SEC needs to be called out over it. And the people from Coin Center have not done a single thing about it. And this really speaks to what Raul Paul said about the crypto space as a whole. And again, he's another smart guy who doesn't get tribalism. And he was saying that it's this innate fear by people who have gone all in on one crypto and think we only need one crypto or two cryptos, right? Maybe it's someone from Cardano. All we need is Cardano and Bitcoin. Maybe someone from Ethereum. All we need is Ethereum and Bitcoin, or all we need is Ethereum, right? And it's that fear, right, of the which is a freaking illusion of some kind of competition, right? The SEC isn't limiting its claim or legality to only include previous or present sales of XRP issued by Ripple or its executive. The SEC is absurdly claiming that the tokens itself is an unregistered security, including XRP traded in the secondary market. And before anyone can attempts to minimize their own failure and neglect, claiming my interpretation of the allegations are inaccurate, Judge Nutburn, presiding over the case, interprets the allegations the same way. Read it for yourself. Presumably, under this theory, then, every individual in the world who is selling XRP would be committing a Section 5 violation based on what you just said, unquote. That was Just Torres. In fact, the SEC enforcement lawyers made it crystal clear in writing as well. Read for yourself. Quote, the XRP traded, even in the secondary market, is the embodiment of those facts, circumstances, promises, and expectations, and today represent that investment contract. I'm not going to read everything here, but he was kind of pointing this out to Jerry Brito and the likes of Coin Center, because the fact of the matter is they have not, if you say this here, if you're going to say this, Coin Center is focused on the policy issues facing cryptos. If you're going to say that, we educate policymakers and advocate for sensible regulatory approaches to this technology. If you're going to say that, where have you been? You have not once said anything about the overreach of the SEC. Probably didn't say anything about library either. Probably didn't say anything about library as well. So shame on you, Jerry Brito. You're not representing all cryptocurrencies, like you said here in this quote. You probably said that at an event. Yeah, just not a good look at all. All right, guys, look, I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay though, because we got DeFi and decentralized products where each and every one of us can participate on a level playing field without having to file an application for credit report or having someone co-sign a loan or any of that madness, or in the worst madness of it all. You don't have to be an accredited investor. All right, guys, I'm going to end this video like I do all my videos, reminding you guys of this, that old money doesn't want you to win, but that's okay though, because you and I are already winning. Have a great rest of the day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.